ever wondered why the term woke has become a buzzword of contention in recent years? This simple four-letter word has stirred up a storm, igniting passionate discussions and debates worldwide. Originating from the African-American vernacular English, woke initially signified awareness of social and political injustices. However, as it seeped into mainstream vernacular, its meaning has been stretched, twisted, and even weaponized. Wokeness, initially a term of empowerment, has now become a subject of debate. Let's delve into why. To understand the fatigue, we must first understand the term woke. Originally, woke was a phrase rooted in African-American vernacular English, used to refer to a state of being aware, particularly in the context of social injustices and systemic oppression. This term has since been adopted into mainstream culture, reaching far beyond its original community. Today, being woke is often associated with a heightened awareness of social justice issues and an active engagement in promoting equality and fairness. It's about recognizing privilege, challenging biases, and advocating for those who are marginalized. However, as with any cultural phenomenon, its adoption has not been without controversy. The term woke has been both praised for its ability to bring light to social injustices and criticized for its potential to foster divisiveness and intolerance. While wokeness aims to highlight social injustices, it has also given rise to a phenomenon known as woke fatigue. Consider the case of the Oscars So White movement, a perfect example of wokeness and its aftermath. In 2015, the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite began trending on social media, calling attention to the lack of diversity among Oscar nominees. The movement did an excellent job of highlighting the racial disparity within Hollywood. It sparked a much-needed dialogue, and for a while it seemed like a victory for wokeness, a term that signifies an awareness of social and political injustices. But as the years rolled on, the shine began to wear off. People started to question whether the changes being made were authentic or merely performative. This led to an interesting phenomenon: woke washing. Woke washing is when companies or institutions publicly advertise their support for social justice causes, without taking substantial action or making systemic changes. In the case of the Oscars, despite an increase in diversity among nominees, many still felt that the core issues, such as a lack of representation in powerful positions, were not being addressed. The Academy's response felt superficial and performative, like a band-aid solution to a deep-seated problem. This perceived insincerity led to a sense of fatigue. People began to grow weary of the constant performative wokeness, leading to what we now refer to as woke fatigue. This fatigue isn't just about being tired of hearing about these issues. It's a frustration with the lack of genuine action and change. It's about the exhaustion that comes from seeing the same patterns of inequity and injustice persist, despite the loud calls for change. Woke fatigue is having an impact on both individuals and larger societal structures. On an individual level, people are becoming disillusioned and cynical. On a societal level, performative wokeness risks undermining the very causes it purports to support, as people begin to associate these movements with insincerity and empty gestures. The Oscars So White movement, while initially a victory for wokeness, eventually led to a sense of fatigue and skepticism. This serves as a stark reminder that true change requires more than just hashtags and viral movements. It requires sustained commitment, systemic changes, and most importantly, authenticity. So, why are people tired of wokeness? Well, the reasons are manifold. For starters, the performative aspect of wokeness has led to a sense of fatigue. It's not enough to just be aware anymore. There's an unspoken pressure to constantly perform, to constantly show others just how woke you are. It's become more about appearing aware than actually being aware, and that's exhausting. There's also the relentless pressure to be constantly aware and active. It's as if you're expected to have an informed opinion on every social issue, to be engaged in every social justice movement. While it's important to stay informed and active, this level of expectation is simply unrealistic and draining. Then there's the backlash against what is perceived as political correctness. Many feel that wokeness has gone too far, that it's become more about policing thoughts and language than promoting understanding and empathy. This has led to resentment and pushback, further contributing to the tiredness of wokeness. Finally, the implications of this fatigue on the social justice movements cannot be ignored. The weariness with wokeness is leading to disillusionment, potentially hindering the very progress these movements are striving for. Wokeness, while well-intentioned, has become a source of exhaustion for many. The challenge now is to find a balance between awareness and action without falling into the trap of performative wokeness. Be sure to hit that like or subscribe button and keep being curious, beautiful, and continue learning. Check out some of my other videos and keep staying curious.